Dun 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 dun. We should have some kind of intro music onto this or something. Just saying. Good morning, Kickassery Nation. This is Dale Maxwell right here talking to you. And what is Kickassery? Kickassery is my opportunity to share the influencers in my life, the people who have impacted me directly or indirectly, and I get to share them with you. You get to learn their little nuggets. You get to see us be super thoughtful, super goofy, super, we might be reflecting. Who knows? This is my life, and these are the people in my life. So who do I have on today? I'm stoked. This is taking a little bit to make happen. Every time this gal scheduled with me, then she's like, I got to reschedule. And then, I got to reschedule. No big deal. It's all good. But you should have seen my calendar of how many canceled kickasseries there were on my calendar. I'm like, come on, girl. We have Stacy, it's all good Smith with us today. She is, I'm not going to do her intro for you, but let me tell you, this woman, I love being around. She is so loving. She has such an amazing personality. She has such a great sense of humor. She's a fellow Trekkie, techie gal, and I absolutely adore her husband, Rick, as well. So with all of that said, I want to introduce to you Stacy Allgood-Smith. Good morning. How are you doing? You got to get the slurping the coffee in there. That got to happen. There we go. Stacy, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Dale.
And
are you alive, awake, and enthusiastic?
I'm alive, awake, and enthusiastic, baby. Absolutely. So
Excellent.
Who are you? I'm going to kick it over to you for a few moments. Who are you?
Right.
What do you do? Where do you come from? Regale us.
Right. So I'm Stacy Allgood-Smith. My maiden name is Allgood. So Allgood Therapeutic Massage is my business I've had for about 7 years now. Allgood, like I said, is my maiden name. When I met my husband, Rick, he said his last name was Smith. I was like, Therefore the hyphenation, because I can't lose Allgood, because especially Smith. Not anything against Smith. It's just not as cool as Allgood. So yeah, currently I am a massage therapist. I have also recently gotten my real estate license. And I am with Allgood Therapeutic Massage is my main business. And I am a partner agent with Impact Maryland Real Estate, and who you interviewed earlier with Eric Verdi. And I've enjoyed so much getting to know him and be on his team. So that's kind of who I am right now, but we can
just right now
divulge more as we chat.
There you go. So that's who you are right now. Are you like a snake and you molt, or I may
be a shapeshifter. I am a Trekkie, so I could be a shapeshifter.
Could be.
Well, right now my shape is round, and maybe.
Hey. My table muscle. Let's just be honest. One of the few things that are bought and paid for in this household is my table muscle. Just saying.
Excellent.
Saying. Stacey, I really want to share a little bit with everyone. So when I first moved to Frederick there, I, of course, knew no one. We came in from Germany because we were stationed in Germany, and we came in, and of course, I'm an old BNI guy. So I've been around BNI for a long time, off and on. BNI, for those of you guys don't know, is Business Networking International. It's a business networking program where you meet people and you pass referrals and all that jazz. And I walk in the room because, of course, I knew no one. And
I don't think you've ever met a stranger, honestly, though.
None stranger than you.
Oh, hey. I don't know. I mean, there's Juan, there's Stavanis.
There's some strange ones out there. There's no doubt about it. Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather.
That's true.
Birds of a feather. And I have to admit, Stacy, you were very welcoming, and you just totally took me in. You're like, hey, who are you? What do you do? Come on over here, grab a seat. Here's the process. And you really welcomed me in. And I don't think I
And
ever thanked you. And I don't think I ever said how much that meant to me.
oh, well, thank you. I'm glad to hear it.
So
I'm glad
seriously,
I welcome a lot of people in
yes,
to our group.
yes, absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
we meet 7:30 on Tuesday mornings. That's really early. Silver Diner. Silver
And our
Diner, bacon
shameless
and
plug
eggs,
is
baby. Just saying. We're looking for plumbers, um, contractors. Yeah.
are
So
you
yeah.
done yet?
Okay. Sorry.
So here's the thing. You impress me so much. You really do. Because you and your husband have I love you guys. I love your husband. I absolutely adore Rick. If anyone followed any of our throwback flicks or our any of that project that we did, any of the videos that were edited for the nonprofits that we did, that was all Rick. Rick did almost all the shooting. He did all the post production. He did all of that. So that was all Rick. Stacy, of course, is the production manager. So she's in the back going, you guys will get back to work because we're kind of goofy and we kind of have fun.
No, I don't. I was probably one of the worst ones.
And that's okay. That's okay. Do you remember? Okay, so this was years ago. Do you remember when we were in your old massage office and it was who all was
Say
there?
a park bench chiropractic.
Yeah, and we did that whole video series, those
Oh
the
yeah.
interviews and the talks, and I ended up sitting in and doing a whole series for someone else.
hmm
And oh my gosh, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. I think
Rick had
Rick.
Rick had so much fun with the outtakes for that. We couldn't just let those outtakes just lie on the cutting room floor, as it were. So he had to put them at the end of the video, like the official video and everything, and then like as the credits are rolling, kind of thing. You get Dale over there going, "Butter all rye, baby, butter all rye."
Well, and that's kind of turned into like our signature. That's kind of like turned into our thing because Rick just lets the video roll.
Oh
He
yeah.
never turns it off. And I remember Juan and I went up to a movie theater there in Frederick, and we were doing um, like movie trailer reviews. We were working on this little side project, and Rick had two or three cameras. One of his cameras he just let run. He just
Oh
let
yeah.
run. And he caught us changing our shirts. He caught us dancing. He caught us. And I'm sure when he was going back through that, he's like, oh my Lord,
Oh,
really? But we had Rick laughing so hard that he was crying and he couldn't talk.
oh
In
yeah.
between what we were doing, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. But one of the I was getting into this, and then you rudely interrupted me.
Oh, sorry.
Is Stacy, I truly appreciate that. You went from a professional career and you said, I want to help people. I want to make people feel good. I want to take care of people. And while you were in your professional career, because that's what I met you, is you were still in your professional career and you were a massage therapist, right?
Professional as data entry is.
Well, but
Well, it
okay,
was
you're 9 to 5,
corporate, a
corporate
corporate
career.
corporate career
Okay, you're a corporate
or
career.
a corporate
Fine.
job. That's what it
Let's
was
get
called.
technical.
Yeah.
And so, that's when I met you. You were still in your technical career, and then you were doing your massage therapy, and you were in that process of wanting to move out of that data entry and into it. And I'll tell you what, girl, you made a choice and you made a decision, and you're like, we're doing it.
hmm
And you put all the parts and pieces together, and guess what? Now you're full time, and
Oh
I
yeah.
love it. You are the solopreneur entrepreneur like success story.
Oh, I mean, take it from this to being able, you know, from this to and working a full-time 40-hour week job. And then it got to the point where I was working so much massage stuff. I was like, came to my boss and I was like, well, I think I kind of need to go down to 4 days a week. And she was like, I'd rather have Stacy 4 days a week than no days a week. So we worked that out. And a couple of years later, I was just running ragged, and my income from massage had gone up enough where I could basically replace what I was doing in that job. And uh, my supervisor and we were way cool, and we actually worked out when my last day would be, so it wouldn't be on her birthday because she's like, I don't want to be crying on my birthday. So we worked it out, and when I handed her my resignation letter, she's like, I'm not touching it. I put it in front of her. She's like, I'm not touching it. It didn't happen. So I left there, and I haven't looked back. I don't. I'm not sure if I could work a regular 9 to 5 again ever.
Right.
No,
Right.
being able to be flexible and being able to help people the way I do, um, and whether it's helping people with massage and feel better, or helping people find their first home. How awesome is that? Like when they walk into that house and see it and fall in love with it.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to that first experience for me.
All right.
I mean,
So
I've been with Eric when a couple found their house, but I want to be with a couple when it's me helping
right.
them find their house.
Right. Right. I'm super stoked, and I'm super proud of you for taking that leap and taking that step, because being a realtor is no joke. It's hard work.
Oh, no.
There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Well, and that's actually kind of what happened. Eric sends out a daily email, and I had gotten it one day, and he was talking something about this was like a year and a half ago, probably. He was saying, how much he enjoyed doing real estate and something to that effect. And I wrote back to him, I said, you make it sound so great. I said, I would consider doing real estate, but you guys work way too hard. I don't want to work that hard. And he wrote back, he's like, well, that's a shame. You'd be good at it.
I would.
Hmm. So I filed that in the back of my head.
Nice.
And so that's kind of how it happened. And took my real estate classes. And uh, can I say that it was actually easier to get my real estate license than it was to get my massage license?
Well, yeah. Yeah, you can
I
say
mean,
that.
it's it's no joke. You have to know a lot of stuff, but I mean, for the amount of education and everything that I got from massage school, that was a year
Hmm.
of massage school, driving to Baltimore and back every night. So,
That's a long haul. All right, your
oh yeah.
your husband is threatening me.
Uh oh. Oh my. Yeah.
Rick,
You want
Rick,
that footage of Dale's belly?
Rick,
Yeah.
Rick. I thought we were okay, man. I thought we were all right. Well, well, I mean, and here's the thing. I look in your background and I see a beautiful home, and I see knickknacks, and I see the cowbell. Because what's the name of your house?
Oh, we have affectionately called it Cowbell Acre.
Cowbell Acre. Because
Just
if you
one
guys
acre. So it's
just,
1 acre.
there you go, Cowbell
Cowbell
Acre.
Acre. Not acres. We only have one.
There you go. Because if anyone follows her husband Rick every Friday, it's Cowbell
Every Friday.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Every Friday, he is changing lyrics to songs or to sayings, and he works cowbell into it. And I don't know how he does it. It's incredible to me, because I'll read his Friday, and I'm like, how did awesome, but how, so because you guys just, I mean, you've been in the house what,
A year.
year now,
Yeah. 1 year.
and you guys have put a lot of work into that house.
Yeah. It's a labor of love. We fell in love with this house. But I mean, we saw it on from down the hill, and we were like, "Oh, that house is so beautiful. It's so cute." And we're like, "We'll never be able to afford that."
Right.
Mm-mm. And then it, amazingly enough, it dropped right down into our price range. We're like, "Yay!
Done.
Okay, let's
Done.
go check it out." We're like, "Oh my goodness!" The first night uh, we are seeing the house, it was in the right at dusk, and we open the back door and flip on the light, and there's like these deer eyes looking at us, like glowing at us, like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You're gonna be our new neighbor?" So, yep,
I love
Cowbell
it.
Laker.
I love it. And you guys have done a lot of work to it. You
Yeah.
really have. And so, so how do you, I mean, Rick has a crazy schedule. He works down in DC. He
Hmm.
works at the Smithsonian, which is so cool
Oh
that
my
he
gosh,
works
yeah.
down at the Smithsonian. How do you guys, I mean, with everything that you have going on, everything that he has going on, how do you guys how do you guys manage it? How do you keep your energy up? How, I mean, because there's a lot of us that are just running and running and running and running and running. And it seems to me like you are really able to balance that really well.
Well, on one thing that I uh, specifically do is I take off on Sundays. Um, it's our church day. Not that we make it to church every Sunday, but it's the only day that we can specifically have off together. He's off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so he's going down into DC Wednesday through Saturday. So I mean, he's gone from 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning until 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I really don't see him. Um, maybe except maybe online and instant messages and that kind of thing. But Sunday is our more intentional day to be together, and you know, we'll just go out driving, just randomly fill the tank up with gas and just go out driving on back roads and stuff. And Frederick County has some pretty neat places just to drive around in.
I absolutely
So
agree. So you guys specifically make time just for yourselves. I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, we haven't had
Absolutely
a
love it.
date night in a while though. Yeah, I'm looking at
Mm,
you, Rick. Hmm.
mm.
Mm.
Rick, you might you might want to stop
Yeah,
here and
Duchess Dungeon.
go
Mm. Yeah.
go take
Mm.
care of that. Just saying, saying. So you had mentioned before we got started here, you mentioned something about you're working with special needs
Yeah.
and therapy now.
Yeah. So you were talking in your daily drive this morning about uh, the special needs population at your son's school.
Mm-hmm.
And as a massage therapist, I've been contacted uh, through an organization here in Frederick County that serves the special needs population. And so I have a couple clients that I see, two of them on a weekly basis, who are of the special needs population, which I have never worked with before. And at first, I was really scared, because I'm used to physical disabilities, but, when people have some of the more, you know, traumatic brain injuries or just, you know, whatever
Can be
spectrum or whatever it is.
unpredictable and just don't know.
Yeah. I just wasn't used to that. So, um, started working with that population, and they're so sweet. And I wouldn't give it up. Uh, I try and the work them into my schedule as much as I possibly can because I just enjoy working with them.
That's awesome.
And and I've been doing a lot of seated massages with Frederick County Public Schools as part of their wellness wagon uh, with United Healthcare and Frederick County Public Schools. They've been going into each of the schools to give some support to their teachers and staff. And the special needs school in Frederick County is Rock Creek. And oddly enough, it's just around the corner from my house. Um, but out of all the schools I've been to, Rock Creek School has by far the sweetest, most caring staff that I'd met, and I really give a shout out and kudos to them because they're just amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. So, okay, I got to ask, why did you start massage therapy? You knew it was going to be a crazy amount of studying. And then you found out that you had to drive to Baltimore all the time. So, what
Yeah.
drove you to do that? To go and spend that kind of amount of time and money?
You know, what is there a saying something about adversity is the something I don't
It's the something,
know.
something.
so in so story time with Stacy. So in '07, my dad had a brain bleed and a stroke and was put into a nursing home. Um, in that time, in '08, Rick's mom passed away, and it was pretty sudden. Um, and that, that kind of is. Oof.
Hmm.
And then the May of '09, I was let go. I was laid off from the job I'd been working in for 18 years. Um, I worked for a pension fund in down the road, and they sent me home in a cab. That was kind of interesting. Yeah, well, I was in a carpool with my sister, and they knew they were laying me off, and I was in a carpool, so they called a cab for me. It was funny because
Wow.
uh, that morning, the front desk called me, Stacy, your cab is here, and I'm like, I didn't call a cab, and I was thinking to myself, are they trying to tell me something? And then I got called to the principal's office basically, and being told I was let go, and I'm like, oh, and by the way, we called you a cab. Oh, well, that explains the phone call I got.
That's
And
ridiculous.
so that was kind of like my joke when I was at the job. My supervisor, whenever she'd see me outside and there was a cab going by, she's like, "Get away from that cab!" So, um, anyway, so I got laid off in May. In July, my dad passed away. Um, in November, I started that data entry job after 6 months, and you know, here I had 18 years of experience, college degree, and everything. The only job I could get at that time was data entry.
Mm,
It was kind of like not like a blow to a little bit of a blow to the ego, if I must say.
yeah.
Um, and then January, Rick's dad passed away.
Mm,
So within a matter
that's a
of,
rough year.
15, 16 months, we lost three of our four parents and a job, a really, a cushy job, if I may say,
Right.
to, go to something else. I mean, we barely kept on to our house at that point. So uh, my sister and I own a timeshare, and we would go to Florida. We try and go about once a year. So in the end of February, after Rick's dad passed away at the end of January, the end of February, beginning of March, we had a trip to Florida, go to our timeshare and stuff. It was really great. But it was so needed because we just needed to,
Yeah.
you could say we're just kind of like blown, just,
Hmm.
well, as you do sometimes, on vacation, I get massages, because, it's a luxury. Massages are
Right.
such a luxury.
Right.
So Rick and I both got massages that week. And when I was on the table, matter of fact, I was like, why am I getting ready to just cry? I mean, I'm just like, I just feel like I'm going to just
Wow.
burst out crying. And unbeknownst to me, that was really the beginning of my healing process. I mean, not just, you know, massage is a very physical thing, but it can also be a very emotional, spiritual thing as well. I didn't know that at the time, but I get off the table, I'm like, I feel amazing. I feel so good. And I looked at Rick and I said, I want to help people feel like this.
Good for you.
And 6 weeks later, I found myself sitting in a massage class.
Nice.
So for a year, I was working 40 hours a week at the JOB and driving to Baltimore and uh, going to massage school 4 nights a week. And then 17 Saturdays, I did clinic, 4 hours of clinic on Saturdays for 17 weeks. And it was no joke. And all I kept saying to myself was, it's a short term sacrifice for a long term goal.
Hmm.
Short term sacrifice for a long term goal. So then I got out of massage school. I was dead. I was
You're
tired.
burned out. I mean, you're
Oh
burned.
yeah. So Rick had asked me that during that I was in massage school from April to April. Rick asked me what I wanted for Christmas because I was off massage school for a week. I was like, I want a vacation. So we ended up going to the Outer Banks for a week between Christmas and New Year. And all I did, I was on the couch napping. I think we played canasta. It was just very much needed.
You just
But
unplugged.
yeah, so that's how I got into massage. And um, I had applied at some chain places and was offered, some work there. But I'm like, why am I going to build somebody else's business when I could build my own?
Hmm.
And I had no idea that I had any kind of entrepreneurial spirit. I had no idea that I had the strength to get through a year of massage school while working 40 hours a week. I had no idea of the potential that I had or the strength that I had, even. And, you know,
And now look at
this
you.
was shocking to me.
So when you learned those, okay, now I'm curious. So when you found out that you had the strength and you actually recognized it, it wasn't just a passing thing. You actually recognized that.
Mhm.
How did that make you feel? How did you respond to that when you
Ah!
nice?
Okay, that was my best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
There you go.
Okay, maybe not like that.
I
But I was
I'm
like,
Stacy.
wow, I'll be back.
There you go. There you go. So you were just like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah. And I joined BNI. It was September of 2011, I believe. And um, I honestly, I just started with nothing. I mean, I had my table and I had some sheets and some lotions to be able to, you know, do massages, and that's about it.
And now you have your own shop. You are booked all
Yep.
the time. You're doing all these wellness wagons. You're working with the
Hmm.
county.
Yep. My expansion now, I'm looking to not necessarily bring on other therapists, but how I work with the county is I'm brought in by another company that contracts me to go out and do these things. So what I'm looking to do is become that company that brings other therapists to go out and do those things, so that um, helping other therapists, helping the companies, and helping me in the same time.
And I'll think that that started with a massage in Florida.
Yeah. And the little lady's name was Jessica. I emailed her, a year or so later. I was able to find her contact information, or contacted the spa or whatever, and they emailed her for me. And I just thanked her for the influence that she was in my life. It's amazing how one person can be that influence.
Yeah, yeah. It takes one person to spark that light.
Oh
That
yeah.
is amazing. That is so. Let me. Okay, so we're at the end of our time already.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
I still have so much more to talk about. No, I'm just...
Well, I do want to ask you this. For those of us who are just starting out, for those of us who have the doubts and the fears and all of the things that come with that, what advice? I mean, you going from a having a massage in a spa in Florida to now you're in the process of building a business that supports other massage therapists. What are a couple pieces of advice for those of us that are either still on that massage table down in Florida, having these moments of clarity to working through the fears or working through all that?
Well, to quote a very philosophical movie, Galaxy Quest, and Tim Allen, when he says, "Never give up, never surrender." No, I honestly, it's one foot at a time. Uh, you know, keep that one step. Okay, can I make it through today? Can I get to Baltimore tonight? Yeah, it's just one step at a time. And
I love it.
you maybe have that end goal, and it's so funny because I look back at my business plan back from 2011. I look back at it about a year ago, and I was like, I haven't looked at it since probably, but I looked at it a year ago, and I went, I did that, I did that, I did that. Holy crap! I think I did what I, I set out to do. So now it's taking that one step further. So now my to be able to expand that where I'm sending out other therapists. Now it's my job to start contacting these companies or, getting in partnership with these companies who want to have massages for their employees, where they have more than 20 or whatever employees that one massage therapist can't handle, but they can have other massage therapists come in and work with them.
Right, right. I remember having conversations with you when you were contemplating jumping out on your own and actually because you were in another salon, I guess is what you would
Mm-hmm.
call it, or a spa.
Yeah.
And I remember having conversations with you many times after BNI, and we'd go grab a coffee, and you were contemplating on jumping out and getting your own place and talking through those fears, and and I have this tendency of using my size 12 foot to motivate people, and saying let's get shit done,
Mm. Oh
you
yeah.
know. And I remember having those conversations, and of course here's my opinion, here's my view. I have this ability for whatever reason to say, well, what you're telling me, here's the steps I see. Now I don't know if they're the right ones or not, but here's what I see. And I remember very, very specifically, you were saying, "Okay, I think this is what I want to do. Can you kind of help me keep motivated?" I was like, "Careful,
Yeah. Yeah.
careful what you ask for, because if you
Oh
open
yeah.
that door, I'm going to be calling you every day, and I will." And I thank you for still being my friend, because I remember some pretty hard conversations and
Oh yeah.
sometimes where I'm like, "Stacy, pull your head out, get
Mm-hmm.
going, get it done."
Oh
And
yeah.
like you said, don't surrender. Just keep moving.
Yep.
And look at you now. Now you're the
Just
one.
keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Now you're the one that's going out and you're supporting these. Ah, man, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so impressed with you, and you are amazing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to be your friend.
Oh.
Seriously and honestly.
Well, sometimes I still need that size 12 boot in my behind.
I'll always be here for you, sister. So,
Excellent.
hey, oh, our welcome wagon showed up. So, Summer, good morning, Stacy.
Oh, hi.
So there you go. Summer's our welcome wagon every episode. Thank you, Summer.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right. So if you have something else real quick you want to share with everyone, we'll call that a day. Thank you, Stacy. I truly appreciate you.
You're welcome. And also, Impact Club. If you've never
Ah,
heard of it,
yeah.
Impact Club, so amazing. I love the concept of it and love being a part of the club itself. So I'm just going to give a quick explanation. So
Perfect.
if you have $100 and you donate it to your favorite nonprofit, your favorite local nonprofit, that's great. I'm sure they're very appreciative of that $100. But you say if you and 199 of your other friends get together and each donate that $100. You know, 200 people donating $100 each, that's $20,000. So, and that's what Impact Club is. And if you get a chance, May 15th is the next meeting at the Blue Side Tavern. Go to impactclub.com and check it out. Frederick is the largest chapter. I'm just saying. I have a theory about that, why that is. I think the community of Frederick is very tight-knit.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other places in the country where they have chapters, they have a community feel, but I think there's something really special about the Frederick community and how tight-knit it is.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're a part of the community, I can't go out and misbehave at all anymore. I know too many people.
And I agree with that. And okay, so moving around and being around a lot of different places, Frederick reminds me a lot of Boise, Idaho, where I spent a lot of time developing relationships, and that's still home. That's still my place, right? That's my own stomping grounds. So Frederick reminds me a lot of that. Now, what Frederick also has is Frederick has a lot of nonprofits. It's in anywhere I've lived and I've experienced, there are more nonprofits and organizations and programs in Frederick than I've ever experienced anywhere else.
Wow.
Because it is a community that supports, that wants to make things happen, wants to make an impact. So yes, absolutely. Impact Club, there's chapters all over the United States. Check it out. If there's not a chapter in your area, reach out to Stacy, and she will. Yeah, I get backwards. Like I'm pointing away from you right now here, but anyway. So reach out to Stacy and she'll help you get in contact, and maybe you could start your own chapter and give Frederick a run for their money.
That's right. Boise Stacy has a chapter,
Oh, do they?
Yes, they do.
Nice.
Still not as big as Frederick.
Well, we'll work on that.
Is that the challenge I put out there for you?
There you go. Dropping it. The gauntlet has been
like it's hot.
All right, Stacy, thank you so much. Hang out for just a second. Do you have any parting words?
So, one of my favorite quotes, I was reading a book on anti-gravity the other day. It was really hard to put down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I got.
Man,
now if
I'll have to roll that around a little bit.
Yeah. Now, actually, I will say that a ship in the harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are made for.
Amen. And we all work to rise with the same tide.
Exactly.
Stacy, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hang out. Don't go anywhere.
Righto.
That was Stacy Allgood-Smith. How insanely awesome is she? And I miss our conversations. We would sit and talk and laugh and goof off, and her husband, and we'd just go, there was parts of that story I didn't even know. And I just learned more. And I feel even more humble knowing that she is now taking her business and what she has developed, and she is now expanding that to even further. And that's what it's all about. That's what it is. So I need you guys, I neglected a couple things. I need you guys to share this. I need you guys to make a lot more comments down below. Stacy and I will converse and answer questions. If you have anything that you'd like to discuss with Stacy, please do that. Why do we do that? For one, community, and for two, because of Facebook and the algorithms and the bots and the things and the stuff. That is how we get growth. That's how Facebook shares us with the world, and that's what this is all about, is sharing with the world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking your time. This guy right here is Dale Maxwell. That was Stacy Allgood-Smith, and this is Kickassery. So keep smiling, spread that smile around, because somebody's going to need it. Guys, have an awesome rest of your day.